The sun is setting over the village of Bethany. A crowd is gathered outside a cave carved into the rock, standing in deep, quiet grief. Inside that cave lies a man named Lazarus. He has been dead for 4 days. To the people standing outside this tomb, 4 days means absolute, irreversible biological decay. The mourning period has reached its final, heaviest stage. When Jesus finally arrives, Lazarus' sister Mary falls at his feet weeping. Her grief is compounded by a specific belief. She tells him that if he had arrived sooner, he could have prevented this death. This diagram illustrates exactly how Mary and the rest of the crowd view Jesus. They have placed him in a specific theological box. Notice the lines separating the domain of sickness from death. The sickness boundary is permeable. They have seen him heal people. But death is represented as an impenetrable, solid wall. To the mourners, death is the absolute limit of human existence. Even for a recognized miracle worker, arriving after death means arriving too late. The wall is closed. But Jesus does not offer typical platitudes. With visible compassion and a sudden, sharp determination, he walks directly toward the sealed entrance. The weeping crowd parts as he approaches the rock. The weeping crowd at Bethany has unwittingly gathered for a direct collision. They are about to watch the immovable boundary of human mortality meet divine intent. Standing before the tomb, Jesus issues a command that shifts the crowd's confusion into immediate alarm. He tells them to take away the stone. Lazarus' other sister, Martha, immediately objects. She points out the grim biological reality. After 4 days in a warm climate, opening a sealed tomb will release a severe odor of decay. Martha's hesitation perfectly captures the friction of this moment. She is voicing the practical, scientific impossibility of what Jesus is attempting. Dead bodies decompose. They do not get back up. Despite her warning, several men press their weight against the massive stone. As the heavy rock scrapes back against the earth, a deep, heavy silence falls over the entire crowd. Forcing the men to roll away the rock serves a deliberate purpose. Jesus is stripping away the physical barriers, making the crowd look at the raw, undeniable reality of a rotting corpse before he acts. Jesus looks up toward heaven and prays aloud. He explicitly states that he is speaking for the benefit of the people standing right there, ensuring they know exactly where the power for the next moment is coming from. Commanding, authoritative tone. Then he steps forward and projects his voice into the darkness, commanding Lazarus to come out. Out of the pitch-black cave, a figure tightly bound in linen burial cloths slowly steps into the golden sunlight. A dead man walks. A shockwave ripples through the bystanders. You can hear gasps and whispers of disbelief as people try to process the impossible, abruptly pierced by Mary crying out in sudden joy. The exact second Lazarus steps into the sunlight, the natural laws governing biology and decay run in reverse. The crowd's firmly held belief about Jesus' limitations shatters completely. In the midst of this chaotic wonder, Jesus issues one final instruction. He tells the astounded family members to step forward, untie the restrictive grave clothes, and let Lazarus go. This physical interaction is crucial. By having the family unbind the linens, Jesus invites the public to put their hands directly on the miracle. They transition from distant spectators to physical witnesses, holding undeniable proof of life. This local family reunion in Bethany operates as a towering public declaration. A man who was once decomposing is now breathing, speaking, and embracing his sisters, proving outright supremacy over the grave. This logic chart illustrates the shift. Previously, the timeline stopped at death, but Jesus positioned himself as the new terminal point, proving he is the resurrection and the life. This forces a crisis. The path branches into an absolute choice: total belief or total rejection. The news of a 4-day-old corpse walking out of a tomb reached Jerusalem within hours. This forced the religious leadership to acknowledge their previous methods of containing Jesus were failing. By inviting the crowd to touch the grave clothes and see the man for themselves, Jesus replaced an abstract fear of the grave with a tangible, living witness. For those in Bethany, the finality of the tomb had been replaced by a conversation with a friend who had returned from it.